In this video, I'm going to show you how to understand and to use menus inside of the Expanse theme for Shopify, which you have. So you have this top menu, which is your primary or main navigation menu. And then if you scroll to the bottom, you have multiple menus here. So this looks like one footer, but this is really one menu, and then this is one menu. So all the items at the top here currently are all set as collections, okay? So you can actually add pages or collections or directly link to products from your menus. So if you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll actually see that About Us is a page, Store Locations is a page, page. My account is a default URL for Shopify. This is a page. Customer Service is a page. Fax is a page. And Order Status is them logging in and looking at their status. So these are all pages. Same thing with the privacy policy. If you actually click on About Us, for instance, you'll see up here in the URL where it changes to pages. Now if I click on Apparel, you'll notice this changes to Collection. And if I click on a product, you'll notice it changes to Collections, Apparel, Products. So there's my collection, there's my my category for it, and then there is my product. So if you look at this and you go ahead and click on Apparel, you'll notice this menu on the left-hand side loads. So if you see this menu, these are all individual menus. So there's not just one menu that controls this. These are all menus. There's a menu for new and featured. There's a menu for Maryland apparel. There's a menu for cookbooks. There's a menu for Krabby items. Most stores are not like this, but in order to get this kind of functionality, we had to do it this way. Okay? Usually you have one menu, then you have everything in that menu. In order to control it this way, we had to create submenus. Let's log into the back end of Shopify. We're going to go to Online Store. Once that's selected, we click on Navigation. And now you'll see all these menus in here. These are all the things that we created for this store. So we're looking for something called Main Menu. And here we go. So this is the top navigation menu for your store. Shop all products. If I click on Edit, it actually links to all products. Say I wanted to link that somewhere else, I can turn that off. I go ahead and click in there, and I can start typing all products and my collections, all collections, shop catalog, all products, products, all products. So they are different, just so you know, okay? Apply changes. Now, if I do change anything, remember, I'm going through and I'm changing all these. Once I'm finished, I'm going to want to hit save. If I scroll down here, you'll see these little arrows next to the menu items. These are the drop-down items underneath your menu. If I go ahead and select that, there's men's, women's, children's. And I'll say, for instance, I want women's above men's. I can just go ahead and simply click and drag it. Notice how that blue bar shows up. So if I actually move it off to something else accidentally, I just have to simply drag it back into where it goes. Notice how it is offset. See that? So it's underneath apparel. Now if I wanted to add another item to apparel, I wanted to add another collection, I can just do it here. Add menu item to apparel. So I can go ahead and click on, and I'll call this Crab B items. And then I'll do a search for Krabby items. And there's my collection, and there's Krabby items, and leave this filter blank, otherwise you'll cause yourself some pain. So now I've got Krabby items, and it's not going to show on the front end until I select save. Once I select save, I go back to the front of your store, I refresh the page, and now if I go to apparel, it'll wait for Shopify's cache to kind of update. Takes a minute. So if you don't see it, so notice how I added it here, and it's showing up right away in the menus, but it takes a little bit for Shopify to kind of cache it and update it. So there it is, Krabby items. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it because I don't want it there. Hit delete and remove. Say for instance you're in here and you scroll over to the bottom and you say add menu item. So if you add a menu item, it'll actually add it to the main navigation. So let's do the same thing. We'll call it Krabby Items. And we'll type in Krabby Collections, Krabby Items, and add. So now what this is going to do, it's going to put Krabby Items at the very end of souvenirs. So here's souvenirs. I'll go ahead and save that. Go back to the front end. I hit refresh. And it didn't load. I hit refresh. And it didn't load. So it takes a few seconds for Shopify to kind of understand and to update. So let's do it again. Refresh. Now there it is. Krabby Items. So I click on that. That's going to link to my collection for Krabby Items. Okay? Well, I don't want it there. I wanted to put it underneath apparel or underneath Krabby Item or underneath food and drink, for instance. So I'll go ahead and go back in here. And I see that Krabby Items is here, but I want it under food and drink. So I can just take it and I can drag it right to food and drink. Now what it's going to do is it puts it at the top of food and drink, but I don't want it there. I want it down below. So I'm going to scroll down. I bring it, drop it to the bottom. Right there. I select save. So now it's underneath food and drink. I hit refresh. Food and drink. Not there yet. Refresh. Not there yet. Alright, so I'm waiting. Notice where I have it, after tea and cocoa. I'll refresh again. It's been about a minute. There we go, Krabby Items. So don't get discouraged if you go back to the front and you don't see it. It's Shopify takes a little time for it to update. It's not immediate. It's a little frustrating. Hit delete. I'm going to get rid of that. I don't want it there. Okay, so that's your main menu items. Okay, so don't touch that menu. Leave it alone. Forget about it. If you want to change it around, go right ahead. So right now, if I want to change the footer items, right? So if I scroll to the footer, I'll see one called Our Company. So I'll go in here and I'll look for one called Our Company. And here it is, Our Company. So I can add other pages to this if I wanted to. So say, for instance, I wanted to add customer service to this. Add menu. I can just type in here, customer. And then there's a page. And then customer service, because it's a page. And click add. So now customer service is going to show up. I select save. And then remember, you got to wait a little bit. Refresh. Refresh. Let's wait a couple more seconds. There we go, customer service. And you click on it, it goes to the page. Okay. We'll go ahead and delete that. Select remove. Select save. And now it's back to the way it was. The other one is help and orders. So you can go to do the same thing. You go back to the menu. You can use this to go back to the menus, or you can always click on online store if you get lost and come to navigation. So help, we're going to look for help and orders. That's here. And the same thing. You can go through and you can click, here's my account. And what I ended up doing was I copied a link there instead of typing in and looking for something. So you can go onto the front end of your website and say, for instance, you wanted the link to this page. Click on that link, and you go ahead and you're going to copy everything before the question mark here. Okay? And then you put that on your menu. So you go ahead and edit it, and then you paste it in there. Okay? And you type in whatever you want it to say. Okay. Now, the menus, when you go inside, over here on the left, same exact thing. So you have new and featured, new arrivals, featured products, gift ideas, gift certificates. So if I go inside and I look inside the menus here, I'm going to look for new and featured. So I look for new and featured. These are in alphabetical order. New and featured. There's new arrivals, featured products, gift ideas. I want to add something else. I want to add another collection. We'll just choose Afghans and throws. Select add. Save. Menu updated, but I have to wait. I'll go ahead and refresh. And then click that guy. All right, it's not there yet. Refresh. And there we go, Afghans and throws. So that's how you update all of these menus, the same exact way, okay? So if you wanted to, say for instance you wanted to move cookbooks menu here, you wanted to move this whole thing above new and featured, you can do that, and I'll show you how. So first let me remove this Afghans and throws. Now remember, if you delete something, it's gone, so you're going to have to re-add it. Hit save. So if you delete the menu, it's gone. All right. So now we talked about, how to work with the menus. Obviously, you can go through and click on these. You understand that these are food and drink, and crab seasonings, and crabby items, and home decorative, and jewelry, and all of that is all of these left menu items. Nothing to do with up here, okay? So all these left menu items, all right? So now, if I wanted to reorder those, I actually have to go into the Customize store. So I go into Online Store, I click on Customize, and it's a little goofy the way they have it. When I click on Customizer, and when I get inside here, I have this drop down called Home Page. I select that, and I'm going to select Collections, Collections here, and then I'm going to select something called Alternate. It's a little buried, it's kind of weird. Over here, you're going to see the Collection Filter. You click on that, click the drop down, and that's where all your menus are for the left sidebar inside of the collection over here on the left hand side. So that first one's new and featured. So if I click on menu, there's new and featured. The next one is going to be Maryland Apparel. Maryland Apparel. Next one's going to be cookbooks. Okay. So you could turn them off too if you wanted to not have one show and then another one show, whatever. But it only allows 15 menus. Okay. So say for instance I didn't want to have, I wanted Maryland Apparel above new and featured. I know that those two are there. Unfortunately, they're not named that way. So menu, if you change the name here, it's going to change the name here. So if you don't want it to say new and featured, you click on menu and just call it new, and select save. And then we'll wait, we'll refresh, and it changes it to new. So I'm going to change it back, get rid of the heading there, save it. For your own sanity, you might want to add those in there as the same thing, but go ahead and click here, and you can just drag them. So it's the same way. If I didn't want to have, if I wanted to have this one moved up, that one moved up, however you want it. It's organized now how you like it, and so you can always come in here and change them. Okay? You just select the menu over here, select change menu. Simple. When you're done, select save, and you're good to go. And that's how you edit the menu over here on the left side.